Washington State University Kinesiology 413 Plyometric Pre- and Post-Testing. This video will go over 3 lower body and 3 upper body plyometric tests and their test protocols. Tests 1 through 3 are lower body and tests 4 through 6 are upper body. This video will also compare both pre- and post-testing videos and results. These tests will include vertical jump, depth jump, standing long jump, medicine ball chest pass, medicine ball backward overhead throw, and medicine ball forward overhead throw. Pre-testing began with test 1, which was standing vertical jump. To begin this test, the athlete stands with their hands above their head. The pull is then measured with the tip of their middle finger. For this athlete, the black mark was used. Once the mark is set up, the athlete will then position themselves underneath the tines with their feet hip-width apart. They will then flex their hips, knees, and ankles and have a counter movement up while reaching and hitting the tines. For this test, the best 3 of 4 is taken, or the average of 3 attempts is also taken for results. In my results shown later, I took the average of the 3 attempts shown in this video. The second test that was performed was the depth jump reach. This is similar to the vertical jump as it is set up the same, except the athlete will step off a box and immediately jump straight up upon their landing. The athlete will continue to increase their depth until they can no longer obtain or surpass their vertical jump. For this athlete, she could not obtain or surpass her vertical jump, so we took the average of her 3 depth jumps off a 12-inch box. The third test that was performed was the standing long jump. The athlete stands with their toes on the line and their feet hip-width apart. Their arms and hips then move backwards, and with a quick counter movement, they explode up and outward. As they hit their maximal hip distance, they bring their feet back under them, absorbing their landing with their hips. This test is measured from the nearest point of landing, which was at her heels. As we move into the upper body test, test 4 was the medicine ball chest pass. With a 4-pound medicine ball, the athlete positioned themselves behind the line. Their hands are placed on either side of the ball with their thumbs forward and elbows in. The athlete then projected their hips forward and pushed the med ball off their chest. The fifth test that is performed is the medicine ball backward overhead throw. The athlete positions themselves backwards with their heels on the line. They then bring the ball down between their legs, slightly squatting. Once in position, the athlete will then extend their back while whipping their hips, shoulders, elbows, and wrists backwards. This will be done with such force that their feet should be lifted off the ground. Once again with this test, we used the average of her 3 throws. It can also be done using the best of 3 or 4 attempts. The last test performed was the medicine ball forward overhead throw. Similar to the backward overhead throw, the athlete holds the ball above their head, arches backwards, and then whips their body forward. With this test, we took the average of 3 throws, like all the other ones. It can also be done using the best 3 or 4 attempts. After 3 weeks of doing a basic plyometric program, we post-tested. The first test we did was vertical jump. We used the same testing protocol and the same black mark. We also took the average of the 3 attempts. We continued our post-testing in the same exercise order. Test 2 was depth jump reach. With this, we saw positive results. The athlete was able to jump higher, but she was not able to obtain her vertical jump, so we still took the average of the 3 tests. This could indicate poor landing mechanics. As we move into the third test, standing long jump, the same testing protocols were used as they were in the pre-testing. We measured from her heels to the line. We also used the average of her 3 attempts. Moving into the medicine ball chest pass, we still perform the test using a 4-kilo ball. When doing this test, it is important to remember that any passes under 30 feet may indicate the use of a lighter ball. Unfortunately for this athlete, she was not able to perform passes over 30 feet. At this time, we should have used a lighter ball, but since we used a 4-kilo ball in the pre-testing, we continue to use the 4-kilo ball in the post-testing. The medicine ball backward overhead throw was then performed. The athlete continued to use the 4-kilo ball. When performing this test, it is important to remember to use a ball appropriate for the athlete. You do not want to choose a ball that is too heavy or that is too light because this could give off false data. Lastly, the medicine ball forward overhead throw was performed. Like the backward overhead throw, it is important to make sure the ball is an appropriate weight for the athlete. If it is too light or too heavy, the athlete might give off false results. It is also important to remember that the athlete should continue with the same testing protocols throughout all their tests. During these tests, we made sure to test at the same time of day, and the athlete performed the same activities the night before and the day of. After performing pre and post testing, the results were averaged and compared. As you can see, the only positive result was the depth jump reached. The athlete gained 0.6 of an inch. An explanation for the negative results is overtraining. The athlete performed concurrent training throughout the 3-week program, which can result in loss of power. Not only this, but the program was only 3 weeks long. The athlete might not have shown result-wise in numbers, but she seemed to have better landing mechanics and overall better plyometric movements after the 3-week program.